Valve marketing accent.
Oh, sorry if I've got my graphics turned down. I'm running this on a potato.
Immediately just like, oh wow, that looks different.
So, fun fact, that spy design, yeah, that's still in the game today. It's on, like, the score screen. It still uses that spy design, they never changed it. So, this is a game. This is a very important game to me personally.
Yeah, I've spent over 1,000 hours in this game, and most of them were playing it.
I played this game because everybody played this game.
Yeah, this was a big deal when it came out. It was like the orange box. Everyone's talking about Portal. I was busy playing this, but I didn't really have a decent PC at the time, so I just had to, whenever I got a chance on the PC that wasn't a MacBook that I had for university, I played this when I could. So that was a super early trailer.
Oh god,
That was Scout with an SMG.
Oh yeah, the nail gun thing.
Nail gun, yeah, from TF Classic.
Right, yeah, this is a sequel to a game, which is like, it should be obvious because it has 2 in the title, but I always keep forgetting that this wasn't just a thing.
It's Street Fighter 2 all over again.
Yeah.
Was it a mod for
the original was a Quake mod, and then there was a Gold Source remake of that mod called Team Fortress Classic by Valve. Well, I don't know if it's by Valve themselves, but it was the Half-Life 1 engine. Yeah. And this is more of a sequel to the Half-Life 1, obviously.
It's amazing just like how well this game took off for being just kind of a mod that I never really heard of.
I had played it, but I wouldn't say I was an expert on it. It came with my copy of Half-Life 1.
Yeah, I think I tried it like after the fact, and it was weird. It was like everyone had grenades, and it just felt a lot different from this game.
I remember this game getting blasted, TF2 here getting blasted because they removed the grenades.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god, the grenades were so stupid. They was you just spam them, like as soon as you're in an encounter, you just mash the keyboard and throw out like 5 different types of grenades. It's ridiculous. No, they've dumbed this down. It's just like, no. It's like they got rid of something that's stupid.
No, it was like a very smart design. Like everything was more simplified, but in a way that like it was like the character strengths were all very like straightforward. Like you'd have like, you know, the soldier has just the rocket launcher, but it's like very intelligent the way it's designed and how you use rocket jumping.
That muzzle flash.
Oh yeah.
3 weapons seems like a lot if you compare it to say like Overwatch or something, but that was simplified as well. Like the weapon variety each class had in Team Fortress Classic was ridiculous. Like they had too many weapons.
I mean, in this game, everyone has just like the same melee weapon, basically.
Pretty much. Well,
to start with, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
We're getting 1 weapon for each thing.
Oh yeah, do they even have sidearms yet? It doesn't even look like it.
Oh, and this footage?
Oh, well, he's got this.
Yeah, look, there's the classic TNT time bomb dynamite thing. That classic.
Oh, I love bloat.
Classic.
I love Wilhelm.
Yeah. Also, like how the first stage they made is you know, 2 Fort, which is the map where nobody does objectives and nothing matters.
Yeah.
Everything's made up and the points don't matter. The objectives don't matter.
This is a silly thing.
It's that in Hightower. Nobody ever did the objectives in Hightower.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone is a fucking soldier in this game.
You know, like someone gifted me the orange box, and I was mostly just interested in playing Portal because I was just like, oh, that sounds like a neat puzzle game. And then Half-Life I had no interest in. And then this I was like, well, I have it. Let's play it. And it ended up being basically one of my favorite games for like a decade.
Fires $200 custom tool cartridges at 10,000 rounds per minute. It costs $400,000 to fire this weapon for 12 seconds.
These trailers are interesting.
Random cut. I love how simple this is compared to the other meats later on.
Yeah, when I downloaded the footage from this, like, there was a video that just didn't put them in chronological order, which was stupid.
Some people think they can outsmart.
Hence why I had to make this edit.
Maybe.
It's staggering how it went from just like, it's weird they even made this to like the later ones where there's like, it's like an entire production.
Yeah.
They made a huge deal about it, and like this took a few years to get through all of them.
Try some more.
So it's like you could like through these trailers you can kind of see the game becoming less and less like small time
Yeah.
as it goes
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, make sure like more money and just more confidence, really.
Yeah.
Like people seem to like these. Like, I understand the early meet the videos were actually just the audition lines, and then they just kind of animated it. Sadly, Rick May passed away a few years ago. The voice of the soldier.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the audition lines apparently.
People just really fell in love with these characters, and the voice acting is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they're pretty much all unknowns as well. At least I don't know them for anything else. But Robin Atkin Downs is the medic's probably the most prolific voice actor there.
Right, yeah.
And damn, like this is what year is this? 2007. This still looks great.
Yeah.
It's like it's that. I mean, it's not exactly in-game assets. They're a little higher quality in these source videos, but
Unless it's a farm.
so many YTPs.
Even the second one is just way more stuff
Yeah.
than the first, which is just him in the fucking room.
I'm an engineer. That means I solve problems. Not problems like what is beauty, because that would fall within the purview of your conundrums of philosophy.
The amazing thing is, these were just like these aren't characters. These are just classes they were adapting. You know?
Yeah, it's so weird how like how much
They are
personality they have, despite the fact that they are just like, this is the guy who built sentries.
Mother Hubbard from tearing me a structurally
Yeah.
superfluous new.
Well, I mean, really, it's just that they don't have names. That's the only thing that's different
Well-
from something like Overwatch.
Yeah, but and it's like the game doesn't ever make it a point to be like, oh, we can only have one because, you know, it doesn't make sense because they're just classes. But yeah, they still like made all of them very diverse personalities.
Yeah, it's like but prior to this, it's like fighting games, I guess, would have, you know, a cast of characters that with no one pushed ahead of the others. I mean, you could argue like some are more prominent in marketing, like Heavy, but still, it's like fighting games. What I can compare it to? You got your 9 different characters, each one pretty diverse. Did this start the hero shooter, like not shooter, like the hero character trend?
It kind of feels like it did because I can't
Probably.
name
mean,
anything like this before it.
Yeah.
If I were a bad demo man, I wouldn't be sitting here discussing it with you now, would I? Yes, do it!
Assuming anyone watching this doesn't mind us talking over the dialogue, because like we've all seen these 100 times.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, it depends on how you define the hero shooter, because sometimes people define the hero shooter as
Yeah.
having, like, abilities and stuff, and not just different...
I mean, I said shooter. I mean, like that whole genre, like League of Legends as well. Like there's this sort of cast of characters that are kind of cartoony, and you know what I mean.
Well,
Not necessarily
League of
just
Legends
shooters.
is definitely not just the hero thing. That is definitely taken from, you know, fucking Warcraft.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I couldn't do it. Yeah, I guess that's not my area.
Because Warcraft 3's people were definitely, you know, had personalities and such too. their
Fair enough.
heroes.
So cocksure, prance in a boot with your head full of eyeballs. Come and get me, I say. I'll be waiting on you with a whipping.
You know what international cast is as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the gimmick.
Yeah, I realize that.
It's Street Fighter 2, as you said.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to have to glue you back together in hell.
It's just the 60s and like late 60s, early 70s vibe is so goddamn good, and it's not done much either. You know, it's like everything nowadays just seems to be 80s based, like 80s nostalgia. But
Yeah,
this
see,
like 70s style is so specific, which unfortunately got a bit diluted over time. But we'll get to that.
I feel like this aesthetic is like mostly seen in like board games and stuff. It's like I rarely ever
Yeah.
see it for like actual games, and it's really nice.
Yeah. It's a time period that's not really explored too often. And you've got like, I mean, it's got sort of spy vibes to it, but it's not, well, other than having the spy in it, it's not really about spying, you know?
In a
Well, I
way,
mean, you get the intelligence in the capture the flag.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Any idea who I am?
they play with it, but it's never like the focus.
Kind of a big deal.
Like,
Oh man, that's beautiful.
and then just mercenaries for like
Grass grows
red and blue, the companies, so it's not really developed at all, and that you don't really need to know much more than that.
Yeah.
If you were from where I was from, you'd be fucking dead. Woo!
It is funny. It is very video gamey in that way, and it's just red versus blue. But it plays off of it very well.
I mean, they don't like elaborate on it at all. I mean, everyone's like clones apparently, but it's fine. Like, I don't really question it. Now, already, this is like the first big step up.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of like unique assets for the engine.
Good job, mate.
Yeah.
This is also when the video started actually influencing like.
I guarantee
Actually,
you
maybe
won't
just
go
this
hungry,
video.
'cause at the end of the
It
day,
kind of influenced like
someone
how
says
the
you
sniper
don't
was
know
interpreted by
someone is gonna
people, and
want
like
I thought you were gonna say the gameplay because it does introduce a weapon.
yeah, that too.
Well, they're integral. I mean, it shows they didn't just exist in a bubble.
Dad, not a crazed gunman, Dad. I'm an assassin.
I mean, you could outsource these to
One has a job and the other's meant
some other
I'll
team,
be honest with you.
and you know, there's no communication between the game makers and the people who make these cutscene things. But no, they would definitely one influence the other.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that like the trailers evolve with the game itself, because they were being made while like the game was going through like a bunch of changes.
Bloods for bloods in their wire.
Yeah.
And also, it could be considered like Valve evolving into like a not game making company.
Yeah, which is kind of a shame because all the money they'll need, like Steam will just generate money for them till the end of the time. They don't need to make shit anymore.
Dad, put mum on a phone.
Oh yeah.
It's a meet the video, how to include it.
Yeah, there he is.
You, stop right where you are. That is an order. He's getting away. Do not let him get away.
Don't do it, pal.
Do not do it.
Hey, calm down here. You listening? Just. Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! My blood! He punched out all my blood!
They had a lot of fun with this.
Oh god, did they?
Ladies wouldn't know how to break a spider. My
So was this when they were introducing the new items, or?
I think we're definitely in that. I think we're in that period now.
It's been so long, I don't actually remember exactly how that all played out. Because I remember it was like, at first it was just every other
Available.
class.
I like how it's available now for PC,
freedom!
which I assume means the like box copy. And oh, that's part of that. Yeah, jeez.
I think it was originally like just for the medic because people weren't playing medic enough, and then they were like achievement locked, and then they
Yeah.
completely changed how that worked. That's another big step up.
I love this video.
We've jumped 3 years now, by the way. Like, we're 3 years into the game's release, something to say.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they just like one class at a time just introduce like, here's an alternate for every weapon that they have.
Yeah.
And it's when the game started to, it's when I think I started to feel a little less strongly about the game. It's mostly like they tried their hardest to add a lot of variety to it, and it felt like
Did anyone happen to kill a red
it just became,
sometime.
it was just weird. Like it started to kind of lose itself and just, let's add a bunch of stuff. It's like, again, like the melee weapons are all just the same thing.
Like you.
So when you try to add a new melee weapon, it's usually just like,
You managed to kill them, I assure you they were not like me.
just stupidly gimmicky.
Nothing.
I don't know. I appreciated the variety. I do believe there was a point where they added too many, and it got to the point where there was like so many variables going on. It was getting a bit confusing.
Indeed.
But I would choose that over no variety at all, which was like one of my biggest problems with Overwatch.
I think it was fine mostly when it was just like the first set for like every class. And then it's whenever they started doing like all the promotional shit and just continuing to go further and further that it started to get really kind of...
Oh yeah, no, I do agree it went a bit too far. I absolutely agree with that. I think some is good, too much is bad. And then it became like increasingly, it's like a fighting game boss there. The more they added, the harder it was to balance. And I don't think TFT was ever known for being very well balanced, but unfortunately we're going to get to that because that does come up in its history. But I don't know, I think the ones with very specific uses are fine. The ones that some of them got so niche, it's just like, why does it even exist? But things like, I don't know, like the Dead Ringer, that was changed its gameplay significantly. The Demo Night stuff, that was fun. But then you get like gimmicky melees. Melees in particular were the most gimmicky of all.
What? It was obvious. He's the red spy. Watch. He'll turn red any second.
You know, in the Team Fortress Classic, he actually could feign death, like you could pretend to be a dead body disguised.
Wow.
That was like what the, or maybe not directly, but it was what the Dead Ringer essentially became.
All right. Who's ready to go find this spy?
Right behind you.
The nice thing about these Meet the videos is how like spread they are. You know, like they didn't rush them all out for all 9 characters. They took their time.
Yeah.
Ma petit chauffeur.
Oh my god, the scout one was like super weird. Like the 3 items that he got. It's like the force of nature, which was just silly. The drink, which was weird.
Oh yeah.
And then the baseball. Like, oh my god.
Baseball's the weirdest of those 3. The invulnerability, that makes sense for him to get behind lines. Force of nature was silly, but it was fun. And you gave him like a triple jump. But the baseball, just, I don't know, just kind of weird.
I forgot about some of these.
I remember those were like very valuable on the economy. Not that I ever got involved with that shit, but
All the very early crap.
yeah, because you know the hardest core FPS gamers are playing games on Macs.
Welcome to fucking all a time capsule of Mac marketing at that era.
Yeah. Suppose I didn't just do the 1984 reference.
Oh, that's a little too old.
Ah, no, people still like to reference it. I remember Futurama doing a bit on it.
Well, I mean, for like a promotional thing.
Ah, I got you.
Anyway, that's how I lost my medical license.
Archimedes, no! It's
This is one of the ones where I felt like we were never going to see Meet the Medic. Like we were just so far into the game's development.
Oh yeah, I remember this took forever.
This is 2011.
What was noise?
4 years.
Sound of progress, my friend.
Jeez.
Perfect. Kill me later. Where was I? There we go. Come on. Come on.
It almost feels unfair that, like, for the characters that appeared early on, the later ones got way better production values, but there's also, like, a charming simplicity to Meet the Heavy that will never be topped.
I think it still works for him in a weird way.
He's a simple character, he needs a simple video.
Could you hold your rib cage open a bit?
I can't seem.
Oh, don't be such a baby. Ribs grow back? No, they don't.
Sometimes I've heard these lines, like, appear and quoted and things. Yeah, I was gonna say, because this game's promotion was like 2006, 2007. This was also like the rise of YouTube, so it was just kind of easier to watch these things. Because I was just thinking how often these appeared in YTPs, and it was kind of just the same time period.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So like streaming video just made it easier to watch these, whereas maybe like 5 years earlier, these wouldn't have become so viral.
I mean, back then you didn't really have a good format for videos.
No, I mean it was possible, but it sucked.
Yeah, you'll have like fucking Real Player.
Real Player or QuickTime or the Windows Media Player was like embedded, and it sucked. I remember watching GameSpot, like when they were like the only site that did video reviews.
Like YouTube was great when it came out, and it was still using just Flash video.
Yeah.
No idea!
This actually had probably should have included actually. This had a like an original concept. Some I was gonna say deleted scenes, but it was almost like a completely different take on the video. And they released these concepts for Meet the Medic, and then Bob Downs just did the VO for them because why not? And put him on his own YouTube channel.
So I don't think we included the like short episode that they did. The
No.
Yep. Yes.
Expiration date.
Yeah, if you wanted to talk about that.
Oh man, you would not believe how much this hurts.
Not really much to say. It's like a short film that was like a pilot for Adult Swim, like for it to be its own TV show. But they took them a year to make that video, so they're just like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. But it is good. It is worth watching. But maybe we can watch that afterwards if you want a good extra time.
And now it's just free.
There's also End of the Line, which is like a fan film. Oh, so I included this just because we can actually see some gameplay.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, they all have clones.
Just seeing weapons I'd never even seen before.
So you stopped playing way before I did. I only stopped out of like sheer necessity, just them just not updating the game anymore. Oh yeah, the replay update, which is they added a replay feature, which is like the old-fashioned kind of input reading kind of replay system, which seems kind of quaint in the age of like shadow play and even consoles being able to record.
Oh yeah.
You know, whatever. Oh yeah, do you know? I always forget the Pyro could not air blast in like the original release of the game.
That's
Like
right.
that was
yeah.
actually added afterwards, which is crazy because it seems like such a fundamental part of its of his game plan. This is dated.
Yeah. Say what the hell is this?
Just trying to get people to submit their clips. Nice clipping there.
Oh, I did like that, like, the payload thing was, like, a really nice way to do, they were just like, we're trying to do an escort mission, which it might have been a thing in the first, TF, or T-Fortress.
It was a VIP, yeah.
Yeah, and they just came up with this, kind of minecart thing that you push around, and it was just way better than...
A person.
Yeah, someone who could just
Yeah.
die.
Kill. Yeah, he actually, little VIP man actually made a cameo and meet the sniper.
Oh, yeah.
Headshot figure. They decided to give that VIP a TF2 design, and just for that one clip.
No, I think they actually, like, workshopped, re-implementing them when they were doing that mode, and it just didn't work out. How the gameplay is turning out. I remember this video, people didn't like it.
I've got mixed feelings on it. It's definitely my least favorite of the Meet the video. I wouldn't say I dislike it though either.
No, I ain't talking about that freak, alright?
I kind of feel like it was very obvious why they did this last, because they just had no idea what to do with this damn character.
Yeah.
I don't dislike the Pyro, but it's like he's like an enigma by design.
Yeah, so then, like, adding an explanation is, like, defeating the purpose.
Yeah. And this came with like a big update as well, the Pyro vision items, which was kind of stupid. We also have licensed music that might be a problem.
Oh, yeah. It almost feels like they really should have done the Pyro video, like, much earlier, so that they could have been a lot more modest with it, but...
Yeah, they were like certain expectations.
So, like, yeah, at this point, it's like, you gotta make this video, like, really big, and...
For a character that we really had no idea about to start with.
Flare gun was a really cool item.
Yeah, although it was a little contrary to his playstyle, but yeah.
Give a shout out to all the, like, in-game dialogue they throw in on occasion.
Oh, the domination lines.
Even the medic just saying, like, no, right there, I think was just, like, the in-game, like, voice line.
Yeah, I mean...
It's just funny, like, I played the game so much that I can just recognize it. It's like, I can just hear it and be like, oh yeah, I know exactly what that's for.
Okay, that was a cool effect, though. I like that last.
I don't dislike it,
shot.
but it's just kind of obvious why they did it last, though.
Yeah, it's not poorly made in any way. It's just the idea is just kind of.
And I can't say I could come up with much better. So
No,
I don't know.
This is, I think, if this is what I think it is, related to something I had never played.
Yeah. It's something I did play, but not much, because it's not why I booted up this game. So this is Man vs. Machine.
Right, yeah. It seems like,
Which is like
a nice concept.
It was so I messed with it. It seems fine. Some people really seem to like it. But frankly, it just, if I booted up Team Fortress 2, it wasn't to do PvE. That was really the end of it. I didn't get it for... Maybe if I had some friends to play it with, maybe I would have messed with it more. But...
It's very much different play styles people have.
It's not even the same game, really, at that point. It's interesting. I mean, apparently it wasn't a failure. Apparently people seem to like it. So.
I was looking at the snow outside and remembered, like, this game used, like, on release, had, like, a very similar, like, theme for every one of its levels. To the point where, like, when they added levels that had, like, grass in it, it was, like, really novel.
Yeah. Yeah, they did diverge slowly over time. So I haven't really mentioned the music, but the music is also outstanding. Right down to, like, the TF2 theme and the jingles in-game.
You didn't actually have, like, music, did it?
Not in-game, no. I mean, it's just... But don't forget, like, the victory jingles and things like that.
Oh, no, yeah, no.
Music, but it had music.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I just kind of realized,
Yeah.
like, the game just didn't have, like, actual, like, in-game music. It didn't have a soundtrack, per se.
Yeah. Also had this like weird ticket system if you wanted to actually get stuff out of playing this mode, which is kind of gross.
Oh, you know, this game introduced the, like, lock and key, like, the crate and key thing, that, like...
I try not to think about that when I talk fondly of this game, but yeah.
This game did also introduce a lot of, or at least one, very bad thing into the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Who still uses the lock part of the key, though, so to speak, like where you earn both of them differently?
I don't know. Also, haven't really mentioned the fact they went free to play at one point, which is it's good for player numbers, but massively came back to bite them. Okay, so we are now in Overwatch territory now, like of that coming out. TF2 not very competitive, never been very well balanced, but you know, fun. But then you're getting like the sort of esports kind of thing coming up, and this game's always had a competitive scene that's kind of fan done, Highlander and stuff. So they introduced a competitive mode into TF2, and it was an unmitigated disaster.
Oof.
Like it literally nobody played it. I've literally never gotten into a match with it. Nobody played it. You'd queue it. It literally didn't work. So yeah, that was kind of a big death blow, and that was around about the time like Overwatch was at least announced. So I wouldn't say, I'm not sure if it was like in response to that or just wider gaming trends, but yeah, that didn't help things. And this is the final update.
This is over a decade later.
Yeah, it's a good run. It's just kind of a shame they just stopped.
Donkey Kong, no.
Hello?
The game's still stupidly popular. It still gets like a lot of players on Steam that, you know, some aren't bots. But they just tend to stop updating it, and nobody's really sure why.
Can't
I mean, I got
last
bored of it.
forever, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know why they would want to. It seemed like eventually, like, they're going to stop making money off it, I think.
But they haven't yet. They're still making money from the marketplace.
Who's there? Is somebody there?
But apparently they have like one or two devs just keeping an eye on it, and that's about it. It's just really weird. The game was still like plenty popular, and then it just stopped.
Please let there be pants. Please let there be pants. Please let there be pants. Oh, let me go now. Okay, let me go.
So, Saxton Hale?
Oh yeah, this guy who was a thing for some goddamn reason.
He was like in the comics for years, and then they finally decided to give him an actual appearance. Just in time for the game to fucking end.
You can't build a theme pack with the deadliest animals on Earth.
This is a strange update.
Well, yeah, what is this?
They'll escape.
It's just a map, really. It's the long and short of it. There were some new weapons. They gave Pyro a jetpack.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't like game changing. It wasn't very good. This isn't like a new game mode. It's just a map. It's just capture points. You see, from this, it doesn't look like they've lost any of their steps. Like, it doesn't look like, oh, they're clearly losing money at this point and they were doing really badly. It's like, no, this is fine. But I don't know why it ended.
It is a
Don't
little
get me
weird,
wrong.
but like,
I was bored of the game at this point as well. Like, don't get me wrong, but
it is just kind of funny though to be like, why did the game end like 11 years later? It's like, Well,
No, I mean it's a good lifespan. I'm
no,
not.
I
I'm
got
not,
you.
like,
Yeah,
bitching,
no,
but-
I get what you're saying, but it is like they do have to eventually end, but it is sort of weird how it kind of felt sudden.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
It's a Yeti fighting pack. If I don't have a Yeti,
You're looking
Speaking
at
of
the-
which, has Overwatch officially ended yet?
They announced a sequel, didn't they?
That was a while ago.
So one of my VTubers playing the beta. I didn't watch it, but I saw that they were playing the beta of Overwatch 2. So I'm like, oh, I guess that's a thing. So I don't know. I guess making a sequel's a. Well, I mean,
But
assuming
isn't
that,
the sequel
that means
like
the one ends.
PvE
Then
or something?
I have no goddamn idea. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to compare, you know.
No, that's fine. How dare you suggest we play that again?
Urgh.
It was just it. Overwatch is just very weird because it was like very, very big when it came out, and then it just fell on its ass, and it's just nobody cares about it anymore. It's very strange.